morning to everyone. K.L.E Society's Jagadguru Gangadhar College of Commerce, Hubli, Department of English, in collaboration with IQAC, is organizing one-day national webinar on imparting life skills and values through curriculum. The resource person who is going to deliberate on the topic is Dr. Neeta Dhumal, Associate Professor, Kamala College, Kolhapur.
Good morning to everyone. I am Professor S.L. Patil. I welcome you all to the national webinar on imparting life skill and value through curriculum. On behalf of the K.L.E. Society Belagavi and the principal JG College of Commerce, I accord a warm welcome to the resource person Dr. Neeta Dhumal, Associate Professor, Department of English, Kamala College, Kolhapur. Likewise, I welcome all the delegates to this webinar.
A pleasant morning to everyone and warm greetings from the K.L.E. Society's JGCC family. It is my privilege to introduce today's webinar resource person, Dr. Srimati Neeta Dhumal, Associate Professor, Department of English, Kamala College, Kolhapur. With an excellent academic record of MA, MPhil and PhD, Madam specializes in American literature. She was awarded her PhD in the year 2011 on the topic Confrontation of Good and Evil in the Plays of Lillian Hellman. She has worked on a UGC-sponsored MRP and is at present guiding research students for their MPhil and PhD. At present, she has 6 registered research scholars, 2 of whom are awarded with PhD and 1 has submitted. She is also guiding 1 student for MPhil and another one is under progress. Since 1989, she is working at Kamala College, Kolhapur. For more than a decade, she has also worked as a contributory teacher for MA English in Arts and Commerce, Knight College, Kolhapur. She is counselor at Yashwantrao Chauhan Maharashtra Open University Center at Kamala College since 2004. She has attended more than 110 seminars, conferences, workshops and symposia and presented 63 scholarly papers and published 17 of them and has chaired many sessions. She has also authored textbooks for BA and BCom semester students. Madam is a member of American Studies Teachers Association. She is a member Shivaji University English Teachers Association and is also a BOS member Shivaji University, Kolhapur. She is also a member of the SIM Writing Committee, Distance Education, Shivaji University and a Textbook Writing Committee and Syllabus Framing Committee. She is associated with the Lions Club of Kolhapur city since 2013 in various capacities as Treasurer, Secretary, President and Vice President of Shri Shaji Chhatrapati Mahavidyalaya and member Kolhapur Film Society. She is involved in outreach and social activities, creating awareness on social and environmental issues, women empowerment and organized cultural programs for college students. She has delivered many scholarly lectures as resource person and chief guest. A lady with myriad achievements, she is awarded with the Best Teacher Award by the Lions Club of Kolhapur City. She has also received the National Level Best Teacher Award by Avishkar Social and Educational Foundation, India. She is also conferred with Editor's Choice Award for Creative Writing and she has also won second prize for direction at state level street play organized by Shamik Pratishthan, Kolhapur. She is interested in translation studies, film studies, fine arts, performing arts and gender studies. So here I present before you a lady with a multifaceted talent and a very colorful personality.
Imparting life skills and values through curriculum. Friends, This is a very crucial topic today because we are going through tough time, and there is always discussion about life skills and values. There is a decline of values or deterioration of values. That is what we learn, and life skills are so essential for us today that it can encompass so many things together. While discussing the topic, at the very outset, I would like to quote Radhanath Swami what he says. If we actually want to make the world a better place and give joy and fulfillment to our students and empower them to give the same for others, we have to build the foundation of our education on human values. It is so true because values are the integral part of our lives. What we think, how we behave, that determines our values of life. And life skills, without life skills, survival is impossible. So, in this connection, if we look at the definition of life skills, you will find there is no one widely accepted definition of life skills because this changes from person to person. And indeed, the term is used quite differently in different contexts. It can refer to those abilities we employ on a day-to-day basis to deal with the practicalities of living. And wider definitions you will find in different contexts. Over recent years, a key problem has become increasingly apparent. Young people who graduate and go out in the world, they find that there is employability, but the employers, they hesitate to give employment to them because they lack certain life skills, or they haven't have the set of values which is needed. So they complete their formal education, enter employment, where they and their employers find that they lack a range of skills and that are essential for them to be effective in their new roles which are assigned to them. Employers often find that values and life skills are lacking in these youngsters, and as teachers, it is our responsibility to inculcate these values and life skills which are needed today. So we'll find here that values and life skills are two sides of a coin. They are inseparable. We cannot separate these things. Like courage, forgiveness, service, hope, innovation, responsibility, learning many things, character building, maintaining peace, sacrifice. These can be values as well as life skills. If we are properly prepared for our future life or professional life, academic and social life, we need to develop our life skills. This is more important when we are going to be doing some or all those things in another language. We need to learn exactly how to talk with the people, how to communicate with the world outside there, and challenges of our life. If we understand in a better manner, then life becomes really very smooth and without any hindrances. So broadly speaking, what are life skills then? The skills you need to make the most out of life, necessary or desirable for full participation in everyday life. Full participation is a key word here. If we lack 1 or 2 points even in our life, then perhaps we will not be happy. So desirable or full participation in everyday life, that is important. Any skill that is useful in our life, which is used for any of the skills needed to deal well and effectively with the challenges of life, is life skill. Skills we need to manage the activities and challenges of everyday life effectively. For example, cooking or even driving or crossing the roads, or if you are in a jungle, surviving there and coping with the challenges or overcoming the challenges. These are the life skills. You will find here there is no definitive list of life skills then. So according to WHO, decision making and problem solving, creative thinking, communication and interpersonal skills, self awareness and empathy, assertiveness and equanimity, and resilience and coping with emotions and coping with stress are the core cross cultural values. UNICEF lists the same skills related categories in its 2012 report. So, now broadly speaking, there are three categories of life skills. One is skills of knowing and living with oneself. These are called personal skills, which are very essential life skills. We need to help ourselves to maintain ourselves, a healthy body and healthy mind. These skills include many things together. First of all, we should know what are our pluses and minuses, our strengths and weaknesses, our our personality trait, or what we actually like or dislike. So many things. If we understand ourselves, so mirroring ourselves is the basic requirement today. If we do not understand our potentialities, and if we are thinking in a high manner about ourselves, if we have superior complex, that is dangerous, and having inferior complex also is very dangerous. So having a right self awareness at the right level is so essential for us today. Self esteem comes out of self awareness. If we are self aware, then we respect ourselves. We know what are our pluses, what are our abilities. So, when we know what are our abilities, we respect ourselves, and when we respect ourselves, we ultimately respect others. Coping with emotions like anger or passions, so that is self that is coping with emotions. And coping with stress, I think this is the greatest challenge today that the world is facing. In second category, we have skills of knowing and living with others. And these are called interpersonal skills. Interpersonal. We deal with so many people in our daily life. And when we try to understand what the person in front of us is going through, that is empathy. If we empathize with the people around us, it becomes so nice to deal with the people in a very smooth way. Effective communication includes a wide range of skills, right from acquisition of basic language skills like listening and speaking, reading and writing. If you are an effective listener, you can be a good speaker also. If we read widely, we can write also in effective manner. And today, to be employable, these skills are so essential for our students. We inculcate these skills through our subjects that we taught in our classes. So conflict resolution and negotiation is so important interpersonal skill that today we find there are so many issues, conflicts, so many problems arising. And these problems are arising because we cannot negotiate things, or there is no resilience, there is no resolution the conflicts. So these are very important things. In this category, next we find friendship formation. It is said that we have so many virtual friends on Facebook, on WhatsApp, thousands of friends are there. But actually, do we have a soulmate today? That is the problem. Because we find that many people are going through stress, they are going to negativities, and there is depression has become the buzzword today. They are going through depression. Why? Because they do not have nice friendship, they do not have nice friends with whom they can share their feelings. So friendship formation is so essential. That is the place where we can give outlet to our feelings. And assertiveness, next to it comes assertiveness. We must be assertive, not demanding, but in a healthy manner we should be assertive. And there is also peer pressure, and resistance to it is also life skill. And it starts, I think, right from nursery to the lifetime. There is peer pressure. Always we are going through peer pressure. In the third category, we have skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and creative thinking, decision making, etc. Numeracy skills are also very important because these skills make you employable. And okay, while thinking about problem solving, the individual should know the steps in problem solving, like understanding the nature of the problem, its onset, factors which aggravate the problem or different solutions, and how to choose the best. Decision making, I think it comes in every step of our life. I remember here what the poet says in The Road Not Taken, Robert Frost. Always we are at the crossroads. We do not know which is the right path for us. So, how to overcome this problem of what to choose, what not to choose, is also a life skill. Decision making before taking any decision, one has to list the pros and cons, loss and gain, the risks involved. One need not hesitate to consult our people around us. Creative thinking, this is the greatest skill which is needed for every one of us. How we can be creative in every act that we live, everything that we do, that makes you a very nice person. And beyond that, in today's world, you will find that there is such a great opportunity in this world of creativity. Creative thinking is so essential, and along with it is critical thinking. One has to learn to evaluate and critically look at an issue, information, situation, or requirement or recommendations made by others. So, critical thinking again is the important life skill. We have to analyze the things, we have to understand the things, and I think in our syllabus, critical approaches that definitely give us looking outlook of looking at the things. So the etymology of values is, it comes from Old French value, or from Latin it is valere, or it is valor from value, and that is how values are there. So the meaning of it is quite common. It may be worth of, and be strong enough, be valuable, etc. So what are values then? Today, the setup of our society is likely to become more complex. During the present decades, speedy erosion of moral, social, and spiritual values has been creating hurdles in the path of progress of oneself and the nation ultimately. It has also become a serious threat to the societies. In the changed social setup, the definition of good morals has been questioned. So you'll find when you open the newspaper in the morning itself, you will find hundreds of things which reflect the lack of values, like agitation or violence, or corruption, bribery, and self-centered egoism, unrest, so many things, cyber crime, violence, communal violence, etc. So, values, what are values and why these are important things? Values are the principles and fundamental convictions which act as general guides to behavior. The standards by which particular actions are judged to be good or desirable, like love, equality, freedom, justice, happiness, security, peace of mind, and truth, etc. Value is a concept or idea, explicit or implicit, distinctive of an individual's characteristics, which influences the selection from available modes and ends of action. It is an enduring belief, a specific mode of conduct or end state existence along a continuum of relative importance. Values may be desired as a system of personality traits which is in harmony with the inner nature of an individual and in accordance with the values approved by the society. In Western ideology, we find that Western philosophers, they think truth, beauty, and goodness as universal values. An area of higher order is self-realization. So, to a lesser or greater extent, all the thinkers all over the world, they unanimously believe that self realization is so essential part of our life. According to John Dewey, value means primarily a word to esteem, to appraise, to estimate. It means the act of cherishing something, holding it, and also the act of passing judgment upon the nature and amount of values as compared with something else. So, values have human origin and must change with the passage of time, or they are changing, they are evolving. What the values were in yesteryears may not be the values today. Not all the values, but some values definitely change in the course of time. They help individuals to deal with others in a proper way, and spiritual values inspire us to do things selflessly for others or for good cause. So, these are the noble thoughts and high principles of life. Ideal conduct and virtues, which prove to be the source of inspiration and motivation for thousands of people to support and judge them and work as light lamps. So, there are different perspectives. Philosophers believe that value means it is an idea, a good ideal life or worth living in this universe. So that is an idea only for philosophers. So if you have good ideal life or worth living in this universe, that is value. Psychologists feel that a value, just like other departments, is a state of human mind, a mental disposition, an attitude, or an emotionalized state of mind towards some idea, thing, or tradition, carrying positive and negative charges within it. And educationists believe that values are acts, behaviors, responses that are considered desirable. Today, we are going through value crisis. As I said before, our values are questioned. There is great erosion of values today. And in Western culture, there is a great problem how to cope with this erosion of values, deterioration of values. There is so speedy erosion of moral, social, and spiritual values. There is a serious threat to the society and to the nation. As we find today, the youngsters, they become easy prey of vicious things, evil things in the life. And to control them and to make them a person having values is a great challenge for every educational institution, for every teacher, for every society, and for every family. So, the growing concern over the erosion of essential values and an increasing cynicism in society has brought up to focus the need for readjustment in the curriculum in order to make education a forceful tool for the cultivation of social and moral values. So, as Mahatma Gandhi says, by education I mean the all round drawing out of the child and man, body, mind, and soul. So there is equilibrium in body, mind, and soul. It is not only the development of mind, but it is also the development of soul. It is also the maintenance of body. So when a person realizes these three things together, then that is a proper education according to Gandhi, and that is universally accepted. So Madhu Singh from UNESCO Institute for Education, Hamburg, he says in the future every educational endeavor will have to ask itself whether and to what extent it promotes learning activities that help develop life skills that are vital to coping with the key issues of one's life and survival, and to what extent it stimulates requisite attitudes and motivations like curiosity, interest, self-starting qualities for lifelong learning. So these are actually the part and parcel of curriculum, but now we have to pay more attention to that. So, curriculum generally, as we know, from primary and secondary education, the crisis of values that our society is passing through demands more explicit and deliberate educational efforts for value development. The National Curriculum Framework 2005 strongly advocates values like cooperation, respect for human rights, tolerance, justice, creating responsible citizenship, diversity, reverence towards democracy, and peaceful conflict resolution. To inculcate values, the subjects like history, geography, civics, languages, literature, art, and music are very helpful, and we are experiencing it. Our social, moral, spiritual, and national values are developed through curriculum only. Education and values go hand in hand, and values are inherent in every module of learning. So, what actually we find through our curriculum, which are the values, those are developed: educational, psychological, social, civic, physical, recreational or aesthetic values, cultural values, moral, spiritual, vocational values, disciplinary values, and values of oneness. These are the things that these are imparted through our curriculum. So when we come to ancient Indian curriculum, we find that the education system was known as Gurukul Ashrama. And from the age 5 to 25, the students used to spend their time in Gurukuls, and various subjects were taught there. Learning where knowledge, life skills, and values were amalgamated. The student was made aware of his duties towards self, family, society, and country. So, as it is inculcated that we are indebted towards our parents, towards our teachers, towards our society, and towards our nation. Matra Pitra Rana, Guru Rana, and we have also Desha Rana that was inculcated in the ancient curriculum. Rishis were Trikaladhyanis, Maharishis, Rishis, they were the teachers, and they were so well versed, and who were supposed to know everything from the past, of the present, and about the future. In a sense, therefore, they imparted knowledge from the past, of the present, and about the future. In a sense, therefore, they imparted knowledge coming from the past that was eternal, and they imparted knowledge of the future also. So everything was situated together in our ancient curriculum. In Vedic age, sacred and secular learning extending from the four Vedas, that was the part of curriculum. Itihasa Purana, the parts of arts of singing and dancing and snake charming also was taught. The curriculum during Vedic period was dominated by the study of the Vedas, the Vedic literature, spiritual and moral lessons. The other subjects of teaching were philosophy, grammar, language, literature, astrology, and logic. There were 18 branches of Vidyas, like the four Vedas, the six Vedangas, Purana, Nyaya, Mimamsa, Dharma Shastra, Dhanur Veda or Gandharva Veda, and Artha Shastra. In Gupta age, 14 Vidyas were regarded as not being beyond the achievements of learned Brahmins. A long list of Vidyas is given by Brahaspati, like acting, painting, soothsaying, the knowledge of cocks, horses, and elephants, even the science of politics, astronomy, grammar, and mathematics, the knowledge of the supreme soul. You will find here the wide range of life skills were imparted through our curriculum. Not only that, you will find Shastras were taught. Kavyas, that is imaginative and creative literature, was taught, and that inculcated life skill of creativity through it. Shastras, that is Mimamsa, that help the students to be critical, analytical. Itihasa is imparting value for the past or respecting the past. Avikshiki, that is logic, that is analytical thinking again. Mimamsa, that is interpretation of certain things. Shilpa Shastra, architecture. Artha Shastra, polity. Varta, agriculture, trade, commerce, animal husbandry, these were taught in the curriculum. Dhanur Vidya, as I mentioned earlier. And along with that, physical education also was included in the curriculum, as we also have today. Students had to learn riding, archery, wrestling, hunting, jumping, dancing, so many activities. And these were the life skills. And these are even today to some extent. Some professional and technical subjects like Ayurveda or Chikitsa Vidya, medicine and surgery, astronomy, mathematics were given due importance in the curriculum. So you will find here the gurus and their pupils worked conscientiously together to become proficient in all aspects of learning. In order to assess pupils' learning, Shastrartha, that is examination, was organized. Learned debates were organized. Pupils at an advanced stage of learning guided younger pupils. There are existed system of peer learning in those days too. The aim of ancient education was to realize the supreme and achieve supreme consciousness. So these were the sciences taught, the science of sound and grammar, arts and crafts, medicine, reasoning, and internal science. And the aim was ultimate. Inculcation of a spirit of piety and righteousness was the aim of education. Preservation and spread of ancient culture. And the chief aim was to unfold the spiritual and moral powers of the individual. The objectives of education were perfection of the physical, mental, and intellectual personality of the students. So, formation of good and moral character was the basis of it, and inculcation of social and civic duties was the aim of the curriculum. It was necessary for a better future life, for the development of vocational efficiency, healthy, positive attitude, and dignity of labor were fostered. So, from time immemorial, we have this set of values and life skills inculcated in our curriculum itself to our students. While talking about values inculcation through curriculum, we come to this conclusion that self-realization and inner development is achieved. Promotion of fundamental values, promotion of individual and social development and well-being, shaping our world, outlook and attitude, conservation of culture, leading a healthy life, improving overall qualities of life, training to make responsible citizens, moral upliftment of every individual, and understanding national goals. Those were the aims of imparting values through curriculum. Through subjects like science, maths, history, geography, economics, language, and literature, even today, we are doing the same thing. So, there are different roles that subject is playing in imparting life skills. Just a few examples, because every subject has set of values, a set of life skills. Just for discussion, we will have here some examples. Okay, so through mathematics, useful practical skills were taught. How to be critical, how to be analytical while looking at the situations in life, that we learn through mathematics. It is useful in practical situations. It develops problem solving skill in real life situations, development of practical skills in measurement, calculating with money, statistics, and using plans and maps, exploration of the concepts of earning and spending money, and to apply understanding in a range of financial decision making contexts, developing knowledge, understanding, and skills in working mathematically, and communicating concisely and precisely, using mathematical models to solve problems, or entering the workforce. These are the life skills which are imparted through mathematics. And there are also values which are imparted. Um, a thinker says, William Thurston, according to him, mathematics is not about numbers or equations or computations or algorithms. It is about understanding. We understand in a better manner when we learn mathematics. That is what he believes, and it is acclaimed by everybody. Practical or utilitarian values we learn: intellectual, social, moral, disciplinary, cultural values, international, aesthetic, vocational, psychological values are also imparted through mathematics. Science, okay, I think the science is the basic thing that we have in our life. If we understand what science is, actually we will know that the life is based on science. It gives you values like curiosity, confidence building, critical thinking, motivation, creativity, communication, analysis, decision making, scientific temper, which is really very necessary in the scenario today. Global oneness, again, very important. Explorations to see scientific facts, inner quest, fundamental laws, critical thinking, and respect for the universal facts. I won't go into details, but these are the values, as all of us know about it. These are values imparted through science. Through history and geography also, some values like disciplinary, informative, educational, ethical, cultural, political, social, vocational, nationalistic, and internationalist values are imparted. So these are the roles played by various subjects. And life skills, okay, history imparts life skills like we understand, we undertake the process of historical inquiry, and the students use historical concepts and skills to examine the modern past and communicate their understanding of history, sources, and evidence, and historical interpretations. These are the life skills which are imparted through history. And values like appreciation to the influence of the past on the present and the future, that is what we learn. That is what is inculcated through history. Value like the contribution of the study of modern history to lifelong learning is undeniable. The active and informed citizenship is developed through the study of history. So, values like love, nonviolence, peace, cooperation, affection, truth, courage, reverence to elders, reverence to other cultures, compassion, respect for all religions, dignity of manual work, humanity, purity in work, thought and action, peace and harmony. So many values are imparted. The knowledge is imparted through history. Now we come to significance of literature and language. Some of the great literary works are so motivating. They are the guidelines for us. These are the guiding principles of our life. The poets like Homer, Plato, Horace, Virgil, the dramatists like Shakespeare, and the poets like Yeats or Keats, Wordsworth, Tennyson, Blake, they are the torch bearers for the society. The importance of literature is undeniable. Moralization and humanization is achieved through literature and languages. Cultural development, including knowledge, science, morality, are made possible through literature only. Moral teaching expressed through languages and its uniqueness again is not, overlooked, cannot be overlooked. More than any other attribute of significance of literature is it distinguishes man from other animals. That is the basic, attribute or the greatest attribute of teaching literature and language, or especially literature. Study of literature and life skills. While talking about this, you will find that there is openness, a new era of world to the, it opens a new era to the students. It cultivates the abilities to human society to have a set of core ethics and values to life, to live. And the importance of this acknowledged universally. Nobody can deny it. Literature is an excellent vehicle for the build-up of a test for literary craftsmanship and artistic creativity, as well as excellent laboratory for the vicarious experiences in life. It monitors our behaviors, reveals human behavior and human relations, the loopholes in relationship, and endeavor hard to keep away all kinds of complexities in relationship is done by learning literature. So when we read the classics or the works of literature, we are in the different realm. It helps a person to take a closer look at the different facets of living. In many ways, literature in its different forms can change one's perspective towards living. Such works are the masses. They are helping us to look within ourselves. They give us insight. So the importance is undeniable. The study of literature and life skills, okay, there are innumerable life skills which are imparted through the study of through literature. A means for gaining access to world knowledge by adopting the values and morals are taught through literature. This is, I think, the primary, the basic thing that we learn. Every work of literature with a moral leaves a deep impression. It is vital aid to language development and competence, conflict resolution, cultural assimilation, emotional development and stability, development of positive and good oriented attitudes to life. It boosts confidence to express thoughts, feelings, and emotions, expanding horizons, building critical thinking skills. Appreciation for other cultures and beliefs is achieved through literature. And of course, better writing skills, reading skills, we achieve through learning of literature, through reading literature, and it addresses humanity. So what is significance of literature? According to C.S. Lewis, a British scholar and novelist, he says, literature adds to reality. It does not simply describe it, it enriches the necessary competencies that daily life requires and provides. And in this respect, it irrigates the deserts that our lives have already become. So, like an oasis. Literature are so soothing. Literary works are the portrayals of the thinking patterns and social norms prevalent in society. They are depiction of different facets of common man's life. Classical literary works serve as a food for thought and encourage imagination and creativity. Exposing oneself to good literary works is equivalent to providing one with the finest of educational opportunities. On the other hand, the lack of exposure to good literature is equal to developing oneself from from the opportunity to grow. Literature is a reflection of humanity and a way for us to understand each other. We empathize with each other. We understand each other. We can enter in the world and the psyche of others. That is parakaya pravesh like thing. By listening to the voice of another person, we can begin to figure out how the individual thinks. So literature is important because of its purpose and in a society which is becoming an increasing detachment from human interaction. So you will find here our horizons are expanded through literature. Students learn about the power, value, and art of the language or communication. Learning and enjoyment also is done. So first and the foremost thing that we have from literature is it opens our eyes and makes us see more than just what the life shows us. we can read between the lines, we can draw meanings from the literary works. So actually we start questioning ourselves. This is a quest, this is expansion of our mind that is done through literature. So developing proficiency in language enables students to become confident communicators, critical and imaginative thinkers. So building critical thinking skill is one of the great achievements that literature has. Many of us learn the critical thinking when we read. We learn to look between the lines. We are taught to find symbols, meanings, connotations, various themes are there, various characters are there, various connections are there, associations are there. We learn so many things together. Reading expands the skills. Reading literature especially expands our outlook. So we become a person altogether different. A person who doesn't read is as good as a person who is in darkness. So lifelong learners develop their language skills through activities involving speaking and listening, reading and writing, and viewing and representing. Through print media also, we are learning so many things today. Everything is available there. So appreciation for other cultures and beliefs also is done. Better writing skills, as it is mentioned before, are developed through literature. And basically all literature, whether it be poems, essays, novels, short stories, plays, whatever, they help us address human nature and conditions which affect all people. This may be the need for growth, doubts and fears of success and failure, and need for friends and family. The goodness of compassion and empathy, trust, or the realization of imperfection that we have, because we lack so many things together. And to understand these things, we need to read things, literature. So one of the parts of communication, one of the parts of language teaching is imparting the values and skills of communication. Students learn the right way of speaking with the correct tone and pitch. They learn virtues like cooperation, respect for others, honesty, sincerity, and compassion when they are working together, when they are communicating. They learn these skills and virtues also. They learn respect for facts. They learn critical thinking. Their abilities to communicate are enhanced. Information, they can impart information accurately, clearly, and as intended. It is a vital life skill. So interpersonal communication skills are enhanced through languages that we taught them in our classes. So communication skills, it is a must in the global scenario, because our students may cross the boundaries and go anywhere in the world, and their interpersonal communication skills are so important. Without it, their survival will be difficult then. It enables the students to work more effectively in groups and teams. So through various genres, various values and skills are imparted. Poetry, I think, is the what you can say, it's so beautiful thing that gives us a new experience. We enter in the new realm, totally different from the mundane reality. So poetry is very close to our heart. Poetry, if we let it and embrace it, can offer us a way of empathizing with one another. And poetry is counselor. It helps to understand one another, leading us away from hatred, from jealousy, envy. We turn towards mercy, pity, love. Poetry is a bridge that gaps the minds of the people, that gaps the communities. So it is the connectivity that we have, direct connectivity with the feelings and emotions of the person who is expressing the feelings in a very concise and appropriate manner. These are the treasures of words. So we learn so many words from any poem. So an immediate path to becoming better people, we need to learn poetry, because they are the, I think, the treasures to impart so many values together. Poetry, it is said, and it is accepted by everybody, that powerful instructional tool, an important art to study at any stage, universal vehicle of human expression, and it is worthy expression of emotion or deep feelings. It helps to understand universal truths as well as cultural differences. It helps to understand social issues like war, etc. It helps to understand the importance of love and purity and the respect for beauty and nature and love of God. It develops tranquility of mind. It is meant to invoke experiences and associations. It emphasizes role of the senses, calling to mind memories and feelings. I just now, as I mentioned earlier, I remember Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. I think the basic skill of decision making is learnt in this through this poem. Two roads are always there, they are diverging, and we are always at the crossroads. The poet wants to tell us that whatever road you take, that becomes very happy road for you, that becomes that makes you very happy, or you have to be happy. There is no retreat, then you have to accept it, and that is beautiful also. So you will find the value of decision making, perhaps, that is somewhere voiced here by Robert Frost. Ode on the Grecian Urn by Keats, timeless poem. We when we recall the lines like, "Oh, Attic ship, fairer attitude, with braid of marble, men and maidens overwrought," we imagine how beautifully the urn might have been crafted. And then when we come to the important line, beauty is truth, truth beauty, that is all ye know on earth, and all ye need to know. We find that Keats places us in a different realm, so heavenly, so exotic feeling it is, suggesting that what we know on earth is so limited, but that artistic beauty which he has now established is alive, and it will remain forever. The beauty is truth, truth, beauty, that is all, that is all. Such a great value has been taught. Respect for the creativity, respect for the art that has been imparted, perhaps. When we remember Daffodils by Wordsworth, "I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over wells and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze." Oh my God, we just travel in this beautiful galaxy of flowers. See the power of words. Immediately we enter in the world of imagination. That is so soothing. The feeling itself is so soothing. A kind of peace and serenity is inculcated or aroused in our mind immediately. So, poetry, okay, the importance of poetry is timeless. But values like excellent, I think it is an excellent tool of encouraging students' creativity and for exposing the aesthetically elastic boundaries of language. Poetry develops empathy and understanding to view the complexities of the world in new ways. When we read poem, we find that we are not alone. Perhaps our feelings are the same feelings that the other persons are going through or they are thinking. So this is the oneness, as I said before, that it is a bridge that connects two people together. At the central place, poetry is in all of our lives. Where there is not poetry, if we ask this question, and the answer is everywhere. Yes, it is. Poetry is everywhere. If we look at our life from that angle, poetry is everywhere. Competency to awaken our senses connects us with ourselves and others, and we learn synthesizing with so many things together. Patriotic poems include values like patriotism, sincerity and honesty, love for nation. I recall here Rabindranath Tagore, when he wants to open his eyes in the world where there is respect for each culture, and there will be serenity and peaceness, there will be intelligence, and see that gives us new insight. Ultimately, we are so enthralled by the feeling of nationalism. Odes and ballads, they teach us how to respect our legends. Through poetry, we improve ideas of the students, and it has therapeutic use also for the writer as well as reader. See, if we are in a gloomy state of mind, and if we read a piece of poetry which is so exalting, immediately our thinking process changes. So that is therapeutic. Significance of words is immeasurable. We cannot deny the importance of the words, especially in poetry. That helps us to understand ourselves and the world around. Okay, fiction. Fiction helps one understand other people's perspectives. When we read fiction, we are actually entering in the minds of other people. Again, the same word which I mentioned earlier, parakaya pravesh. We enter in that person, and we try to understand the way of behavior, the way of thinking of the person, the problems that person is going through, and we become one. This is identification. That is the ultimate achievement that we find when we teach fiction. We learn about various values like love, friendship, brotherhood, about we become aware about social injustice, and then the resilience of the human spirit is achieved through it. Historical fiction sets us down in the middle of the time period that allows us to touch and taste the world around us. We interact with contemporaries, solve problems, runs deep into the realm of psychology and philosophy, and illustrate cultural values, race, gender, origin or location, and heritage, regional or ethnic values are learned through fiction. Reading fiction contributes to a person's moral psychological development and their ability to have empathy or understanding. The social realism highlighted in many fiction works present themes that allow readers to encounter diversity. According to Kate Sidley, she's a writer and editor. Well, drama. Okay, before I discuss drama, I just want to mention here, I just cannot check myself from the temptation of mentioning a few works like the Kite Runner by Khalil Hosseini. Enduring love of friendship and the transformative power of forgiveness is learned through this novel. Number the Stars. This is beautiful novel based on the background of World War II in Copenhagen, and this is a story of Anne-Marie Johansen, the best friend of Ellen, who happens to be Jewish, and how this love of friendship that overcomes there, and how she helps or the family helps the person that is told here. So we learn this value of empathy here. Again, I recall Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, again timeless classic, that teaches us overcoming differences of caste and class. This class consciousness, which is not acceptable in any situation, that is what we learn. through Pride and Prejudice, about learning to laugh at life in the given situation, whether it is grossly unfair or gloomy or whatever. We have to learn these things, and these things are learned through the novels like Pride and Prejudice. The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton is the novel that reminds us that growing up is never easy, that pain, loss, friendship, and love are universal experiences that both create and dissolve socio-economic boundaries. Okay, again, Louisa May Alcott's Little Women. Oh my God, I think these are the heartwarming experiences. These timeless classics, they are like, monarchs, that they are shining stars that always guide us. They give us important things of life, importance of familial values we learn through Little Women. Very simple homespun comfort of never being alone, that is a feeling of oneness comes out of it. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee is the novel that looks critically at social issues of class, race, and politics. And ironic injustice of the legal system has been discussed there. When we talk about imaginative writing or fictitious writing, I undoubtedly remind Harry Potter series, which deals with so many things together that gives us to explore the imaginative world. Such a beautiful creation that every child would like to read. Again, along with that, we learn the value of friendship, the pain and loss, or the triumph of good over evil. These are the realities which are taught in a hidden manner, of course. Again, I remember Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Stowe, a well-known abolitionist novel it is. Uncle Tom's Cabin is a political and puritanical indictment of American slavery. This is a novel about the endurance of human spirit and the moral obligation to fight for right. See, how many examples are thousands, innumerable works are there which are the guidelines in our life. When we come to the genre drama, we find that drama promotes communication skills, basically teamwork, dialogue, how to deliver dialogues, negotiations, or socialization, and how to use your pitch, tonality. That creates actually wonders in the outer world. If we use right tone, that is a key to success. It stimulates the imagination and creativity. It develops a better understanding of human behavior and empathy with situations that might seem distant. Drama allows the development of a critical thinking and allows us to make better and more conscious decision maker. That encourages us to use our bodies and our voices. It encourages us in a great manner. It deals with the life's problems. It builds confidence, develops speech, communication, and presentation skills. It encourages and develops creativity, encourages and develops concentration also. It encourages us to work in a team. So this value is inculcated, like interpersonal skill that we learn, and value to respect others that we learn. It develops emotional intelligence and empathy and supports healthy minds and well-being. Again, as I said, thousands of examples are there. So how to quote these many examples, it is impossible, but I just recall some. Macbeth, you will find here, it is the best example of portrayal of human values. It is so realistically brought to light by practically demonstrating that the evils has the seeds of its own destruction. Students learn, or we learn from Macbeth, that how to control our emotions, how to control evil within us. Shakespeare's philosophy of human values and nobility revealed through Hamlet also. Torn between assertion, negation, perturbed psycho physical state, that is caused because of the insincerity of mother and all that that everybody knows. So Hamlet, to average the evil deed of murder that is instigated actually, and Prince Hamlet is led to philosophically reflect and moralize on human destiny, deplorably his own being despicable. Again, as I said, there are so many examples together. When we recall Girish Karnad's works, their religious and social values are questioned, political values are questioned. So many examples are there, and that is, I think, the discussion is endless. But it is very true that literature are our guidelines. So I come to conclusion what we have through these various subjects, how we inculcate values and life skills. So in conclusion, I would say here, for self-realization, these things are very essential, these subjects are very essential. We realize what is our inner instinct, or what we are actually. Inner development is achieved through imparting, these life skills and values through various subjects, to promote fundamental values, to promote the individual and social development and well-being, to shape our world outlook and attitude, to sustain the society and culture and bring about necessary changes in the society, to direct people to lead a healthy life, to improve overall qualities of life, and to train to become responsible citizens, for moral upliftment of every individual, to understand national goals, etc. Literature, languages, they play important role. They are very, very essential things in curriculum. Thus, through literature and literature, the students know the value of being responsible, building. They build team spirit. Literature helps them to be creative, developing tranquility of mind, subdue rude and uncultivated nature, and awaken sympathy and promote harmony. Drama, stories, poems with aesthetic beauty, its emotional appeal, its capacity to give pleasures, its power to instruct is a wonderful tool in teaching virtue and truth. So, friends, I would conclude here with a quotation. So, before that, I want to thank once again for giving me this opportunity to have a dialogue with you. So, the quotation is: inculcation of values and life skills is a lifelong process. So there is not a restriction that we learn in only one phase, or in primary or secondary or higher secondary, or higher education. No, it is a lifelong process. And I conclude with the quotation: values are the deeply held beliefs that drive and direct our behavior. So thank you so much.
I, Parvati Katti, Assistant Professor in Commerce, would like to thank today's resource person, Dr. Neeta Dhumal, for her excellent presentation. And I also thank our beloved principal, Dr. D.V. Honaganava sir, for his all-time support. And I also thank organizers of this webinar and all the delegates. Thank you one and all. Namaste.